So this book was really inspired by the last 5 years in the classroom that I had with students. I created a business-like learning environment with those students where they were leading different departments. And what I noticed is they were learning skills rapidly and making connections to the real world. And it was not something that I predicted. It was something that I was experiencing very organically. With Rick's background knowledge and of entrepreneurship, problem solving, the coding, the creativity and design, we knew that we were going to be able to merge our skills together to really come up with something that was new, that not only supported educators, but supported them to infuse all of the skills that students need outside of the classroom into their current learning environment.
Yeah. My educational journey is a little bit unique. So I struggled when I was at school. I was a very below average student. Because I'm diagnosed with dyslexia, I used that as really an excuse to why I wasn't really achieving like other students. But I came across a school that really honed in on my superpowers, and they encouraged me to truly look at my true skills, which were problem solving and creativity. So moving on, I actually became part of a company that was involved in the education sector, and I was able to contribute to the platform that was really supporting educators and students on a global aspect. And it made me realize how many people were also having the similar struggles that I did with learning. So I want to really bring in the knowledge that I've gained through my experiences and give that back to others that will hopefully be able to overcome their struggles.
So I think the key takeaways here are readers are going to hear not only from us, but they're going to hear from real students. They're going to hear from a few business owners. They're going to hear from teachers who are actually using these learning strategies and skills focused around student leadership and student entrepreneurship, and using strategies like student portfolios and problem solving frameworks. They are going to hear about all of that. And so I think what the takeaway is that it doesn't matter what grade level you are. It doesn't matter if you are in an administrative position. It doesn't matter what you're teaching. There is something in this book for everyone. And I believe that there is something in this book for everyone, even if they're not in education.
We've actually introduced our own framework called AIM, which is academic excellence, interpersonal skills, and mastery of self. And it focuses on student success, but we want to encourage educators that when they're beginning to plan their lessons and projects, to not only focus on the learning objectives and the grades, which is your academic excellence, but to find ways to incorporate opportunities that students can develop on their interpersonal skills, their collaboration, and also looking at their reflection and feedback, which is more of their mastery of self. So it's encompassing everything to elevate a student for success.
We are working on a project. I will let you know more about that in just a second. But where can you find us? So we, for sure, this summer are going to be at ISTE in San Antonio. Our book launches on June the 3rd. It is for pre-order now at the ISTE website, also Amazon, I believe Barnes & Noble, Target. It's out there. You can just search for it and pre-order it. And so we're going to be at ISTE really talking about the book. We're going to be at some booths. We're going to be sharing more about how technology, specifically educational technology like Book Creator and other platforms, can really merge together with those learning goals in the classroom and really just amplify students. This is really what it's about, student success. And if we're not in the education scene for student success. Like, be thinking about why you're actually there. So the new project that we're working on that got halted just a smidge because Tisha's learning self-care again, is that we are doing a podcast. And we're not going to tell you the name of the podcast. It's not revealed yet. This is the first time that we are speaking of it. But if you're watching this now, you are probably going to be getting ready for the podcast. It's possible that one episode may have already been released. But this podcast is really meant for educators, past, present, and future. Our goal is to build a community of thought partners who are going to join us. So you may be familiar with me because of what I did in the classroom and my work at Wakelet, and you may be familiar with Rick based on his work at Wakelet and some of the other things he's been doing. But we're going to talk about strategies. We're going to talk about portions of the book that we've written. We're going to talk about the book writing process. Everybody wants to know about that. We're going to get really authentic about that process and what we learned. But we want to give space and a platform to educators and students and business owners as well, and thought leaders in this space, and really anyone who has a success story, because we were all students and we all have a story. We're going to discuss trends in technology and education and learning and teaching strategies, because you know I'm not going to let you talk about education without that. We're going to talk about challenges, but we're going to be looking at it with solutions instead of just talking about the challenges. We want to know challenges among leaders, among educators, among students, and then most importantly is our passion and purpose that has really organically evolved, which is neurodivergent awareness, with Rick being dyslexic and me being ADHD, and how do we navigate those, and how can you as a parent, a leader, a teacher help students navigate that as well.